Hi, my name's Claire Garber. I'm here on behalf of Control Room, the Toronto-based DJ collective and studio located in the Junction. For more information about what we do, please check out Control Room, that's .ca, that's CTRL, room.ca. Today I am here with the legendary DJ and producer, Gene King. Welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to be here.
Excellent. So just a brief history, Gene King has been DJing for over 20 years. He's played a major role in the house movement, produced music for numerous labels over the years. Underground projects include Midnight Madness, Soul Fusion Express, and later Vibes and Vinyl. And to date, the founder of the label Shine Records.
That's right. That's Shine's Records.
Shine's Records.
There you go.
Okay, so let's go back to your roots. Where did music come from? Do you come from a musical family? Were your parents musicians? Where was your passion sparked?
Well, my dad was a musician in the West Indies. He used to play in bands. And he was actually the one that brought it into the house. He used to go out to parties, record the parties, and I would listen to the music the next day. He'd bring like a reel-to-reel of like 5 hours of music, and I'd hear all kinds of stuff from reggae to funk to disco to calypso to just everything. And even like some rock and pop stuff that was out at the time.
Excellent. So early exposure, you had access to all kinds of music. And when did you pick up your first vinyl and start spinning?
The first vinyl. Okay, the first vinyl that I ever picked up. I was 4 years old. I bought a 45 down on the corner by CCR. My first vinyl I picked up for DJing, I guess it would be in the mid-70s, 12-inch version of Joe Tex, Ain't Gonna Bump No More. I got into DJing just by looking at other guys doing it in school and high school and everything. And we had dance music radio shows. I grew up in Montreal, so we had a lot of like dance music radio shows, and I got influenced by that. Like hearing continuous music for like the first time ever. So that would be like the mid to late 70s.
You came in, from what I've read about you, you came in after, sort of on the tail end of the disco era, when you started.
That's when I started seriously getting into DJing. But like during the disco era, I was DJing at like school, high school. I'm aging myself.
Like discos.
No, not discotheques. I was too young. I was too young to go to those places back then. I wasn't even thinking about style. I was just playing records that were happening at the time. And that's what it was, yeah, that I liked or that were happening at the time. And it would be anything. It wouldn't be just disco, but it would be like funk records that came out years before. There'd be some rock records that were like big at the time. You just played everything. You just played music that people danced to back then. So it was just a fun thing to do, and it was fun trying to match beats, which was unheard of at the time. You know what I mean? To get two records to sync at the same time, that was a big deal back then. So
Your first exposure to house, you actually didn't like it.
yeah,
And
right.
initially.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I had already been
And-
DJing. At the time, I had already been DJing for quite a while, and I would go into the record store every week, or several days a week, and just find out what the newest tracks were. And one of the owners of the store told me, "You might like this. Try this out." And she gave me this Marshall Jefferson house anthem, and I hated it. The piano and everything. I was into funk. I was into electronic type music. So I was into a lot of like funk, Africa Bambaataa, the freestyle sort of stuff that was out at the time. And I heard this, and I'm hearing the piano and the live bass, and I'm like, what the hell is this? It sounds like really underproduced disco. Like, and this is like 85, 86. So
It was new.
it was very new. So I was at this club in Montreal, and the DJ, Michel Simard, he was playing some records, and then he threw on the same record that I heard the same day. And I heard it on the big sound system, and I'm like, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. Like, this piano sounds crazy on this big sound system.
Totally different experience of the same song.
bass sounds like pounding on this sound. Yeah, I gotta get into this stuff. I went to the store, bought that record, bought Fingers, Mystery of Love, bought like the whole The house section was like one rack at the time, so I bought like all 6 records.
How is this? How is it different musically? I mean, were people as embracing of house music? Was the scene happening to the point that
It wasn't actually. Actually, I tried out at a couple of clubs in '87. I tried out in a couple of clubs, and the big thing was freestyle at the time. Cover Girls, Company B. That was the big thing at the time, and popular R&B. And I tried out at some of the clubs, and I started playing things like Farley, Jackmaster Funk, and Italian imports, German imports, all like real hardcore dance music. And some people got it, and others didn't, and it didn't work. And at that time, I didn't even know about clubs like the Twilight Zone that were actually playing that music.
the after hours type stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. And a friend told me about it, and you would see that same core of what maybe 1,000 people. Like, it was a big scene, right? But it was just this big underground that most people didn't know about. So it's hard for me to say when it really got into the mainstream. Probably when a lot of the sports bars started playing the music, and a lot of let's say the clubs that were playing more mainstream type of music, that were playing freestyle, when they started doing their little sets of house. And that would be around the same year, 87, 88, 89. You started seeing a lot of stuff coming from Europe that was house sounding. You know, it was house sounding, like S Express and some of the stock Akin Waterman records that were like very heavy, bassy, and house-like. You saw a lot of that stuff coming. So when it started going around the world, more around the world, I would say, 89, 88.